On the show tonight, we are very fortunate to have a real-life metal legend. While he's a great songwriter and guitarist and producer, you probably know him best by his insanely powerful yet melodic vocals. I should probably also mention the band that carries his name has sold over 10 million records worldwide. Tonight on A Shock in the Dark, we are rocking with Dokken.
A shock in the dark.
What's up, boss?
Hey, Don, it's good to see you, man. You're looking good.
Okay, for just finishing a tough California tour, and it's our only day off. We're at the airport, staying the night, and we got the day off, then we're off to the East Coast.
Jeez. When do you get to actually go back to that beautiful home you have, that ranch? I know I would be looking forward to going back there if that was my spot.
Ah, my villa. I don't know, in about 8 days. Then we got 3 days off, and then to come back to California. We're doing 2 nights at the Whiskey, kind of our farewell concert, because we've always played the Whiskey since, the 70s, but
right.
We've always come back there, even though it's a small venue. We don't do that smaller venues, but it's kind of an homage where we started, you know, with Van Halen, playing with Van Halen, Y&T, Quiet Riot.
Wow.
So we've always, every year, go, okay, we'll play the Whiskey, because I felt we owed it, but
that's such a really nice thing to do. I know you do a lot for charity with these shows, but also, as a fan, being able to see Dokken in such a small place, that's amazing.
And up close, and just the whole spiritual vibe, I guess I would call it, that the Doors were the house band,
Doesn't get much better than that.
I mean, I saw Judas Priest. I mean, it's the Whiskey, man. It's not fair. People go there and go, oh, this is it? I go, yep, the Doors played here, and they used to have the go-go dancers in cages, and it was a wild time and all.
Yeah.
You see the video, the documentary on that, and everybody from Jack Nicholson to John Lennon, they all went to Whiskey, man. Hung out.
Okay, Don, you did it to yourself. You brought up playing the Whiskey as being spiritual, and that is my seg into the big question. The reason you're visiting with us today. Here we go. Don Dokken, have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Paranormal? Like ghosts?
In your music videos with you out in the middle of a cemetery in New Orleans at the dead of night, or Charles Manson's old hangout. You did the Friday the 13th theme, Dream Warrior. So, I was just thinking you must have had some paranormal experience in your life.
Well, I'll be honest. I wouldn't say I've ever had a paranormal experience, but I can understand how people do. 14 years ago, I was hooked on opiates, and I decided to go. I was watching that TV show, Celebrity Rehab, Dr. Drew, and I thought maybe I should go there. So I called him up and I said, I'm on Oxycontin, and the doctor's got me on fentanyl, and I can't take it anymore. I'm going to die. They put me on it. It wasn't like I was a drug addict. I never took an aspirin until I was 40. So I got in my car, I drove to Pasadena and checked myself into rehab. It was like a celebrity area. And we would sit around this little private lounge and talk about ghosts and paranormal. And, you see something on the corner of your eye, and all of a sudden he's not there. And, so maybe it triggered my mind, because I never had a paranormal. But I went back on the 3rd day. I was feeling fine, and all of a sudden I started losing it. And I remember going back to my room, and there was a person sitting in my room. And I remember their face right now. 14 years later, I can see their face. And I had a conversation with them. And I was talking to them, or I thought I was. And I finally got up and I went to the nurse's station. I said, there's this guy in my room I've been talking to. Can you get him out of there? And she said, Donnie, there's nobody in your room. I said, I'm telling you, I just had a long conversation with him. So they're thinking, okay, I'm having a psychotic break. I'm freaking out from the rehab, the withdrawal. So she goes in there just to show me if there's nobody in the room. And sure enough, he was gone. And I'm like, okay. And that's when they called the doctor and figured I was freaking out. Then I find out that the room I was in, the person that was in there before me committed suicide. So I started thinking, wait a minute, the last guy in this room, yep, they said he hung himself. And I said, well, wish you would have told me that before you checked me into this room. And I started asking questions like, did he have brown hair? Was he kind of short? You know, and he had kind of a punk haircut. And the nurse was like looking at me like, yeah, he did. He had kind of a spiky hairdo and he was in for heroin addiction. And I said, do you have tattoos on his left arm? Yes, he did. And I went, okay, now I'm freaked out. I'm freaked out because I never believed in ghosts or spirits. They're stuck somewhere. But when I explained what he looked like, and she told me, yes, that was the person that was in the room before you, I guess you could call that a paranormal experience.
That's insane. Yeah, I would call that a paranormal experience.
When I explained what he looked like, the nurse was freaked out.
You had me worried there for a minute that you didn't have anything, and look at that, you came through. Don Dokken, thank you very much for being on A Shock in the Dark.
Good luck, boss.